All right, so picture this. You're on like an epic adventure,
Yeah.
maybe trekking through the Himalayas or exploring a bustling European city, and you want to capture those memories, not just with blurry smartphone pics.
Yeah.
That's where today's deep dive comes in. We're going beyond your phone's camera and exploring the world of dedicated travel cameras. We've got a fantastic article here, Top 5 Best Travel Cameras for Stunning Adventures. And we're going to break it down to help you find the perfect camera for your next trip.
What's fascinating about this topic is that we're seeing a real resurgence of interest in dedicated cameras. You might think, why bother when my phone takes pretty good photos?
Okay.
But there's a whole world of quality and creative control you unlock when you step up to a dedicated travel camera.
Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. The article dives into 5 main types of travel cameras, each with its own strengths and ideal user. But before we get into those specifics, I'm curious, why even bother with a separate camera these days? What advantages do these dedicated travel cameras really offer over our smartphones?
That's a great question, and the article makes a compelling case for dedicated cameras. It all boils down to image quality. Imagine those once-in-a-lifetime shots. A breathtaking sunset over the ocean, a vibrant street scene in a foreign country, a dedicated camera with its larger sensor, and advanced image processing capabilities. Captures those moments with a level of detail and clarity that most smartphones simply can't match. You get richer colors, better low-light performance, and the ability to print large, high-quality photos without losing those precious details.
It's like the difference between listening to your favorite song on a tiny speaker versus experiencing it live in a concert hall. It's the same song, but the depth and richness are on a whole other level.
Exactly. And beyond image quality, dedicated cameras offer greater creative control. They give you the ability to fine-tune settings, like aperture and shutter speed, which unlocks a world of creative possibilities. You can experiment with depth of field, capturing those stunning portraits with a blurry background, or freeze the action of a speeding cheetah with a fast shutter speed. These are techniques that are often limited, or simply not possible with a smartphone camera.
So it sounds like dedicated travel cameras give you both the technical and creative tools to elevate your photography game. But let's break it down a bit further. The article talks about 5 types of travel cameras: compact, mirrorless, DSLR, action, and even smartphones. I'm already feeling a bit overwhelmed. Can you walk us through these categories and help us understand who each one is best suited for?
Absolutely. Let's start with compact cameras. These are the pocket-sized powerhouses, perfect for travelers who prioritize portability and ease of use. Think of them as the point-and-shoot cameras of the digital age, but with some impressive features packed in. They're ideal for capturing those everyday moments, spontaneous street scenes, or stunning landscapes without weighing you down.
That sounds perfect for someone like me who's always on the go
Yeah.
and wants a camera that's easy to toss in a bag or even a pocket.
Yeah.
But what if I'm looking for something with a bit more creative control and the ability to change lenses? That's where mirrorless cameras come in, right?
Exactly. Mirrorless cameras have become incredibly popular in recent years, and for a good reason. They offer a fantastic balance between portability and performance. They're smaller and lighter than traditional DSLRs, but they still pack a punch when it comes to image quality and features. And yes, you can change lenses to suit different shooting situations, giving you that creative flexibility you're looking for.
So if compact cameras are like the sprinters of the camera world, mirrorless cameras are more like the marathon runners, built for both speed and endurance.
That's a great analogy. Now, for those who demand the absolute best image quality and have the budget and willingness to carry a bit more weight, we have DSLRs. These are the workhorses of the photography world, known for their robust build, exceptional image quality, and wide range of lenses and accessories.
DSLRs are the heavy hitters, the ones you see professional photographers using at sporting events or fashion shows. But I imagine they're not the most practical for everyday travel, especially if you're trying to pack light.
You're right, they can be bulky and require more investment, both financially and in terms of learning how to use them effectively. But if you're serious about your photography and want the best possible results, DSLRs are still the gold standard.
Okay, so we've covered compact, mirrorless, and DSLRs. But what about those adrenaline-pumping adventures? I'm thinking skiing, surfing, mountain biking. Those moments where you need a camera that can handle the action. That's where action cameras come in, right?
Yeah.
Those rugged little cameras that can go anywhere and capture everything.
Absolutely. Action cameras are built for adventure. They're They're small, lightweight, and incredibly durable, often waterproof and shockproof. They're perfect for capturing those first-person perspectives of your wildest adventures, whether you're diving with sharks or mountain biking down a treacherous trail.
And they're not just for extreme sports, right? I've seen people using them for travel, vlogging time lapses,
Yeah.
and even capturing unique perspectives of everyday life.
You're exactly right. Their versatility and ease of use have made them incredibly popular, even for travelers who aren't necessarily jumping out of planes.
So we've got compact, mirrorless DSLR and action cameras. That leaves us with one final category,
Yeah.
smartphones. I have to admit, I'm a bit surprised to see them included in an article about dedicated travel cameras. Are they really contenders in this space?
That's a fair point. While smartphones might not have the same level of image quality or creative control as dedicated cameras, they've come a long way in recent years. They offer incredible convenience, especially for casual photographers who want to capture and share their experiences quickly and easily.
And let's not forget about the incredible apps and editing tools available on smartphones. You can do some pretty amazing things with just a few taps on your screen.
Exactly. For many travelers, a smartphone is more than enough to document their trips and share those memories with friends and family. It really comes down to your individual needs and priorities.
Okay, so we've got a good overview of the different types of travel cameras out there. But now I'm thinking, how do I actually choose the right one for me? What features should I be looking for? Is there some secret formula?
There's no secret formula,
Hmm.
but the article does highlight some key features to consider when making your decision. And it all starts with thinking about your personal travel style and photography goals. What kind of adventures are you planning? What kind of photos do you want to capture?
Okay, so let's say I'm the type of traveler who loves exploring bustling cities, wandering through markets, and capturing those spontaneous street scenes. What features should be at the top of my list?
Portability is key in that scenario. You want a camera that's small, lightweight, and easy to carry around all day. A compact camera, or even a smaller mirrorless camera, would be a great choice. You'll also want to consider image quality, especially if you plan on printing your photos or sharing them online. And don't underestimate the importance of battery life. You don't want to miss those perfect shots because your camera died halfway through the day.
So it's a balancing act between size, image quality, and battery life. But what about those of us who are a bit more adventurous? Let's say I'm planning a hiking trip through the mountains or a kayaking expedition down a scenic river. Durability and weather sealing become crucial in those situations.
Absolutely. You want a camera that can handle a few bumps and scrapes, and maybe even a dip in the water. Action cameras are obviously built for this type of abuse, but some mirrorless and even compact cameras offer weather sealing and rugged construction. It's worth doing your research and finding a camera that can keep up with your adventurous spirit.
All right, so we've got portability and durability covered. But what about those creative features we talked about earlier? How do I know if a camera offers the level of control I'm looking for?
That's where things get a bit more technical. But don't worry, we'll break it down. One key feature to look for is lens versatility. Do you want a camera with a fixed lens? Or do you want the option to change lenses depending on the situation? Interchangeable lenses give you the flexibility to shoot wide-angle landscapes, zoom in on distant subjects, or capture those beautiful portraits with a blurred background.
So if I'm picturing myself shooting vast mountain ranges 1 minute and then focusing on the intricate details of a wildflower the next, I'd want a camera with interchangeable lenses, right?
Exactly. It's all about having the right tool for the job. Another feature to consider is the camera's sensor size. A larger sensor generally means better image quality, especially in low light.
So if I'm planning on shooting star trails in the desert or capturing the ambiance of a candlelit cafe, I'd want a camera with a larger sensor to handle those challenging lighting conditions.
Precisely. And don't forget about connectivity. Many cameras now offer built-in Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, allowing you to transfer your photos to your phone or tablet for quick editing and sharing. It's a game changer for travelers who want to share their adventures in real time.
It sounds like choosing the right travel camera involves a lot of factors, but I'm starting to get a better sense of what to look for. Now I'm really curious to hear about the article's top picks for 2025. What cameras have caught their eye, and what are the pros and cons of each one?
That's a great segue into the next part of our deep dive. Let's take a closer look at the cameras the article recommends and see if we can match them to your travel style and photography aspirations.
Sounds good. I'm ready to hear about these top contenders. All right, I'm ready to hear about these top cameras.
Yeah.
The anticipation is killing me. Which one snagged the best overall title in the article?
Well, the article crowns the Sony a7CR as the champion, and it's not hard to see why. This camera is a powerhouse, especially for those who crave professional-level image quality and creative control. But the article highlights something interesting. Despite its pro-level capabilities, the A7CR is surprisingly compact, making it a contender even for travelers who prioritize portability.
It's like having a pro athlete squeezed into a backpacker's frame. But hold on, we talked earlier about how sensor size impacts image quality, especially in low light. What's the Sony packing in that department?
That's where the A7CR really shines. It boasts a full-frame sensor, which is significantly larger than the sensors found in most compact, or even some mirrorless cameras. A full-frame sensor means you're capturing more light, resulting in stunning detail, richer colors, and exceptional low-light performance.
So if I'm trying to capture the northern lights dancing across the sky, or the subtle glow of a city skyline at night, the Sony would be the one to have in my hands.
Absolutely. But let's not forget about those who might be starting their photography journey or working with a tighter budget. The article highlights the Canon PowerShot G7X Mark III as an excellent choice for those seeking a balance between quality features and affordability.
Now, the Canon PowerShot, that name rings a bell. It's not a DSLR.
Right.
More like a sophisticated point-and-shoot.
You got it. The PowerShot G7X Mark III falls into the compact camera category. It's incredibly portable, slips easily into a pocket or small bag, and it doesn't skimp on features. It's got a 1-inch sensor, which is larger than the sensors found in most smartphones, and it offers impressive image quality and even 4K video recording.
That's a pretty impressive package for a compact camera, but wouldn't I sacrifice some creative control with a compact? Like the ability to change lenses?
That's the trade-off with compact cameras. They typically have a fixed lens, which means you can't swap it out for different focal lengths. However, the PowerShot G7X Mark III has a versatile zoom lens that covers a good range, from wide-angle shots for landscapes to zoomed-in shots for portraits or details.
Okay, so it's like a multi-tool for photography. It might not have every tool imaginable, but it's got the essentials covered for a variety of situations. Now, I can't let you off the hook without talking about those adventure-ready cameras. The article had a GoPro on the list, right?
Of course, no discussion of travel cameras would be complete without mentioning the GoPro Hero 13 Black. This is the camera that practically invented the action camera category, and it continues to push the boundaries of what's possible in terms of durability, performance, and versatility.
I remember seeing those early GoPro videos. Skiers flying down mountains, surfers riding giant waves. It was like experiencing those adventures through their eyes. But what makes this particular model stand out? What's new and improved?
The Hero 13 Black is all about capturing stunning footage, no matter how extreme the conditions. It's waterproof down to 33 feet, shockproof and dustproof. But the real game changer is its new Hypersmooth 5.0 stabilization technology. It practically eliminates camera shake, even when you're mountain biking down a rocky trail or running through a crowded city street.
Wow, that's impressive. It's like having a built-in Steadicam. But what if I'm not an adrenaline junkie? Is there a place for a GoPro in my travel kit?
Absolutely. GoPros are incredibly versatile. You can use them for time lapses, underwater photography, capturing unique perspectives for vlogging, or even just documenting everyday moments with a fun and engaging point of view.
So it's like having a secret weapon in your travel photography arsenal. You might not use it for every shot, but when you need it, it's there to capture those impossible moments. Now, I'm curious about those mirrorless cameras we talked about earlier. The article highlighted one in particular, right?
Yes. The Olympus OM system OM5 gets the nod as the top pick for mirrorless travel cameras. And it's a fantastic choice for those seeking a balance between quality features and portability.
Okay, remind me again what makes mirrorless cameras so special. Why are they gaining so much popularity?
They're like the sweet spot between compact cameras and DSLRs. They offer interchangeable lenses, excellent image quality, and advanced features. But they're significantly smaller and lighter than traditional DSLRs. The Olympus OM5 is a great example of this balance. It's got a robust weather-sealed body, a 20MP sensor, and in-body image stabilization, all packed into a compact and travel-friendly design.
So I could take this camera on a multi-day hike through the rainforest, knowing it can handle the humidity and rough terrain, and still capture stunning images of the wildlife and lush landscapes. But wait, doesn't the article also mention a Fujifilm camera? I thought those were known for their retro style and film-like quality. Is that right?
You're right on the money. The Fujifilm X100V also gets a shout-out in the article, but not as a top pick in any specific category. It's more like a special mention, a camera that stands out for its unique blend of style performance and creative control.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Tell me more about this stylish Rebel. What makes it so unique?
It's all about the experience with this camera. The X100V is beautifully designed with a retro rangefinder aesthetic that harkens back to the golden age of film photography. But it's not just about looks. It's got a fantastic 26MP APS-C sensor, a sharp fixed lens, and a hybrid viewfinder that lets you switch between optical and electronic viewing.
So it's like stepping back in time
Yeah,
while still having access to modern technology.
that's pretty cool. But how does it compare to the other cameras in terms of image quality and
Mhm.
features? The X100V produces stunning images with a unique film-like quality that Fujifilm is known for. It excels in street photography travel and everyday moments where you want to capture those authentic, timeless shots. However, it doesn't have the same level of versatility as a camera with interchangeable lenses. It's a camera for those who appreciate its specific strengths and aesthetic.
It sounds like choosing a travel camera is almost like choosing a travel companion. You want one that aligns with your personality style and the adventures you're embarking on. But I have to ask, the article highlights these top picks. But are there any downsides, anything we should be wary of?
That's a great question, and it's where critical thinking comes in. The article does a good job of presenting the pros and cons of each camera, but it's important to dig a little deeper and consider your individual needs and priorities.
Okay, so let's play devil's advocate for a minute. What are some potential downsides or trade-offs we should be aware of? For example, the Sony a7CR sounds incredible,
Yeah.
but it probably comes with a hefty price tag, right?
You're absolutely right. The A7CR is a premium camera, and that's reflected in its price. It's definitely an investment. You're paying for that full-frame sensor, the exceptional image quality, and the advanced features. The question is that level of performance worth the extra cost for you? If you're someone who prints large photos, shoots in challenging lighting conditions, or simply demands the best possible image quality,
Hmm.
then it might be a worthwhile investment.
It's like choosing between a first-class ticket and an economy seat. Both will get you to your destination, but the experience and level of comfort are vastly different. But what about the other cameras? Any potential pitfalls to watch out for?
Well, the Canon PowerShot G7X Mark III, while incredibly portable and feature-packed, does have a fixed lens, so if you're someone who craves the flexibility of interchangeable lenses, it might not be the best fit.
Okay, so it's a trade-off. Portability and convenience versus ultimate creative control. What about the GoPro Hero 13 Black? It seems like a tough camera to find fault with. Is there anything we should be aware of?
The GoPro is a beast when it comes to action and adventure, but it's not necessarily the best choice for traditional photography, especially if you're looking for that shallow depth of field with a blurry background.
So maybe not the ideal camera for capturing those dreamy portraits or those romantic shots of the Eiffel Tower at sunset. What about the Olympus OM5? Any downsides to consider?
The Olympus OM5 is a fantastic all-rounder, but some photographers might find its sensor size a bit limiting, especially compared to the full-frame sensor of the Sony a7CR. You might notice a slight difference in low-light performance or dynamic range.
It's like comparing a compact SUV to a full-size truck. Both are capable vehicles,
Yeah.
but they excel in different areas. And what about the stylish Fujifilm X100V? Any potential drawbacks?
The X100V is a beautiful camera, but its fixed lens might be a deal breaker for some photographers. It's also not the fastest camera in terms of autofocus, so it might not be the ideal choice for action or sports photography.
It's a camera for those who appreciate its specific strengths and are willing to work within its limitations. Okay, so we've talked about the top picks, the pros, the cons, and the trade-offs. Now I'm thinking, I've got the camera, I'm on my adventure. How do I actually use it to capture those amazing travel photos? Does the article offer any tips or tricks?
Yes, and this is where the article really shines. It goes beyond just recommending cameras and delves into the art of travel photography. It encourages you to get out of auto mode, experiment with different settings, and embrace the creative possibilities of your camera.
So don't be afraid to play around and see what works. It's about experimentation and finding your own style.
Exactly. And the article emphasizes the importance of natural light. It suggests shooting during the golden hours, the hour after sunrise and the hour before sunset, to capture that soft, warm light that makes photos magical.
Oh, that golden hour light. It's like a photographer's best friend.
Hmm.
But what about those times when you're not blessed with perfect golden hour light? What if you're exploring a bustling city at midday or caught in a sudden downpour?
The article encourages you to embrace those challenges and use them to your advantage. You can use harsh light to create dramatic shadows, capture the energy of a rainy city street, or experiment with black and white photography to highlight textures and patterns. It's about seeing the beauty in every situation.
Okay, so it's about adapting and making the most of whatever conditions you're faced with. But what about composition? That always feels a bit intimidating. Does the article offer any guidance in that area?
It does, and it breaks down composition into some simple guidelines that can make a big difference in your photos. It talks about the rule of thirds leading lines and using negative space to create balance and visual interest. It even suggests looking for patterns, textures,
Wow.
and unique perspectives to add depth and intrigue to your shots.
So it's not about following rigid rules, but rather using those guidelines as a starting point to develop your own eye and style. It's about seeing the world through a photographer's lens, noticing details that others might miss, and capturing those moments in a way that tells a story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the article reminds us that travel photography is not just about taking pretty pictures. It's about capturing the essence of a place, the emotions you feel, the connections you make. It's about documenting your journey and sharing it with others.
It's about telling your travel story through the lens of your camera. But what about gear? The article talks about cameras. Does it mention anything about accessories, lenses, tripods, bags, all that stuff that photographers seem to accumulate?
It touches on a few essentials, but I'd like to add my own 2 cents here. My top advice: pack light. The best camera is the one you actually use. And if you're weighed down by a ton of gear, you're less likely to take it out and capture those spontaneous moments.
So resist the urge to grab every lens and gadget you own. It's about choosing a few key items that will serve you well and leaving the rest at home. Less is more, right?
Exactly. Focus on the essentials: a camera body, a versatile lens or two, maybe a small tripod if you plan on shooting low-light scenes or time lapses, and a comfortable bag to carry it all.
Okay, I'm taking notes. Less gear, more experiences. I like it. But before we wrap up, I have to ask. The article ends with a thought-provoking question, right? Something to really make us ponder the purpose of travel photography.
You remembered. And it's a question that I think is worth revisiting as we conclude our deep dive.
All right, lay it on us. What's the question that's going to send us off on our next adventure? I'm all ears. What is this thought-provoking question we should be pondering?
The article leaves us with this. Imagine your next trip. What stories do you want to tell with your photos?
Ooh, that's a powerful question. It shifts the focus from the gear to the heart of travel photography. It's not just about having the latest camera or mastering technical skills. It's about the stories we want to share, the emotions we want to convey.
Exactly. It's about using photography as a tool to connect with the world around us, to document our experiences,
Yeah.
and to share those experiences with others.
It's like thinking of our cameras as extensions of our hearts and minds, allowing us to capture not just images, but also the essence of a place, the feeling of a moment, the connection we feel with the people we meet.
And that's what makes travel photography so compelling. It's not just about pretty pictures. It's about storytelling. It's about capturing the beauty, the wonder, and the humanity of our travels.
So whether you're drawn to the bustling energy of a city street or the serene tranquility of a mountaintop,
Yeah.
the key is to approach photography with intention, to think about the stories you want to tell and the emotions you want to evoke.
And to remember that the best camera is the one that inspires you to get out there, to explore, to connect, and to create.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today. We've gone from the basics of why a dedicated camera might be worth considering to exploring different types, key features, top picks for 2025, and even some expert tips for capturing stunning travel photos.
Yeah, and most importantly, we've encouraged you to think beyond the technical aspects of photography and to connect with the heart of it all, the stories you want to tell, and the memories you want to preserve.
And who knows, maybe one day we'll be featuring your stunning travel photos in a future deep dive.
So go out there, explore, experiment, and let your camera be your guide as you capture the beauty and wonder of the world around you.
That's a wrap on this episode of The Deep Dive. Until next time, happy travels, everyone.